Hello, Toastmasters. This is Nikhil Yadav, President, Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. And since we do not have Toastmaster Ajanta today, who generally plays the role of Sergeant at Arms, I am here playing dual roles as a President and as a Sergeant at Arms. And I would request if you all can switch on your cameras. We are only a handful of people only. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Hello.
Yeah, Nikhil, you are audible.
Hello.
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 Hi, Nikhil, you are audible.
Okay. Now I can hear you. I wasn't able to hear anyone. So today we have organized this kind of special meet so that the purpose was actually to guide new members and members who have not participated in contest yet. But the purpose was to organize this for new members like Ajanta, Puneet ji, and Anup ji, who has not participated in contest for a long time now, and other few members. But since it's a big coincidence that most of the members have said that they will not be able to attend it. So again, this serves as as a meeting wherein we can, just practice and go with the flow. Have someone like Toastmaster Sahil who can share his insights, someone who has represented the division and the area in different contests. So it's an impromptu meet, and again, as I said, the purpose is that we can share insights and just practice. It's a platform wherein we can practice how we are going to go about the evaluation contest. And there would be, as I was discussing earlier, that we'll be having our area level evaluation and humorous speech contest later in the last week of this month. And in the last week of this month, and to prepare the same, to prepare for the same, this meeting is being held. This meeting is being held, and again, we'll be having the division and area and division level contest as well as Toastmaster Manvi shared post probably in the later half of the next month or in November. So keeping that in mind, I have requested Toastmaster Sahil to, as he has been part of various contests, to share his experiences, his insights, using which we can learn and participate in the upcoming contest. So with that, I would like to. Am I audible? I received a message from Archita that there's complete silence.
You are audible.
Okay. So I would be handing over this stage to Toastmaster Dave, who would be uh, acting as the MC for this mock evaluation speech contest, and would be taking this meeting forward. Toastmaster Dave is someone we all know, obviously, and who has been a big support, not just for TMCL, but the whole Division F. I would say someone who has been very active and has contributed in different roles, especially as all the beautiful flyers that we have seen for last a year or so. He's been the face behind it. All the tech part that we handle, again, Toastmaster Dave is the reason that we conduct our meetings so smoothly. So currently, if I have to introduce him, he is a graduate from IMS UC Ghaziabad, and currently he is undergoing his post-graduation Masters in Computer Applications from Graphics Era University in Dehradun. So he is someone I always fall back to whenever I need a hand, and I don't, I can't recall any moment when any incident when he said no. And once again, he is here, helping me and supporting me conduct another Toastmasters Club of Lucknow meeting. So I would like to hand over Toastmasters Club of Lucknow's 209th meeting to our MC, Toastmaster Dev, to take this forward. Over to you, Toastmaster Dev.
Thank you so much. Can we all give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Nikhil? Though even though he's traveling, but he's still the lead and present here, hiding the TMCL from the Wix. So today I will be the host of the meeting, and I will take you from the starting till the end, along with the many amazing people that we have today. But before starting, I would like to ask a few simple questions to all of you present here. First of all, can I have people on the camera, please? Can I request Toastmaster Prerna, Toastmaster Archita, Toastmaster Manvi, Toastmaster Akshat, Toastmaster Tanmay, Toastmaster Anup, and Toastmaster Guest Kitten to come on the camera so that we can have a little interaction and we can obviously enjoy the meeting to its fullest. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prerna, Toastmaster Anup, Toastmaster Akshat. Toastmaster Archita, your camera is on, but we are not able to see you. So that's a nice trick. I will use it next time. Next, Toastmaster Tanman, Toastmaster Ketan, please join your camera when you get the time. Okay, so starting with, I won't ask the question from Toastmaster style as he is the champion of contest and he has done many contests and rocked the stage. So I will ask from Toastmaster Anu. So these are going to be your first contest if I'm right. And how are you feeling in participating in humorous speech contest where you have to now take the stage and make everyone laugh?
Sorry, apologies. I was just trying to figure it out. I think making anyone laugh is this is one of the most difficult jobs. I'm a great fan of stand-up comedy. I keep visiting a lot of clubs and I see people. I mean, there are two terms which are there. Either you have killed the show or it has bombed. So you get to see there are a lot of people who come and they struggle. So it's always a challenge, and I think I'm keen to see with this workshop what all we can learn and how we can take it forward.
Definitely, humorous is something that we all are really trying to figure out because making someone laugh when they are your friends is really easy. But when the audience are filled with judges or people who are sitting there and waiting to see what you are going to do with your speech is something that we don't know. And next, I would like to ask from Toastmaster Prerna. Today is your club level contest as well. So, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very unprepared because, yes, I am very unprepared. But I'm trying to laugh because if I laugh, I will put humor in my speech and then the audience will laugh. I could think like that. But other than that, I'm very unprepared and nervous. So I can't speak much today.
Worry, Toastmaster Prerna, but you have to speak because these are the times where you gotta take the stage and speak up. And even though nobody laugh at your joke, laugh yourself. Sometimes the laughter make the audience laugh, even though the jokes won't. So next, I would like to ask from Toastmaster Akshat. You have taken part in evaluation speech contest as well. Now it's your time to take part in humorous speech contest. How are you feeling right now? What are the challenges you think you might face from switching to being a feedback giver to the laughter master?
Well, humor is not something that comes to me naturally simply because I think Anup would also agree that, we basically are into roles wherein the humor has actually kind of dried up, right? So anything that would make the audience laugh to even a small extent would be more than sufficient. But let's see. I mean, we have become very serious over the years, but with people like you and with some insights from seasoned Toastmasters, probably we will also be able to make funny bones tickle. Let's see.
Master X, and definitely these are going to be still a challenges because in humor we have to struggle, but in evaluation speech contest we struggle a lot because we got a small time frame, a 7 minute speech of a test speaker, then we have to just make our notes in 5 minutes and boom, you are on the stage, you have to evaluate and You have to evaluate not the speaker, but the speech and the audience present there. They have to understand that you are not targeting only the speaker, but to the audience as well. So definitely today for that, they're giving us tips and tricks and also say his insight as he was the Division F champion of evaluation speech contest. I would like to introduce today's educational speaker, Toastmaster Sahil Sachdeva, who is an integration consultant at Ultimate Chronos Group with a deep passion for public speaking and literary pursuits. He has judged prestigious events at IIM Guwahati, IIT Kanpur, IIT Roorkee, and IIM Lucknow, drawing insights from vibrant student discourse. A proud TEDx speaker and seasoned Toastmaster, he served as an area director leading his area to a top 5 spot in District 124, reaching the district final in both evaluation and humorous speech contests, and was honored as a runner-up Toastmaster of the Year among 3,000 plus members. He also successfully coached the district's only Hindi online club to President Distinguished status and has mentored new club to success. Now, please give a huge round of applause as I call upon the stage for Toastmaster Sahil. Toastmaster Sahil, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Organizing Member Toastmaster Dev, for such a kind introduction. Well, today I got an opportunity to deliver a session on evaluation contest. Now, before I deep dive more into evaluation and its rules, its regulations, the contest type, the structure, I would first like to know from you all, what is evaluation? Anybody? Can I get a few raise of hands? Anyone? Maybe Toastmaster Akshat?
Evaluation, as an evaluator, you're supposed to deep dive into a contestant's style of speech and come up with some commendations and recommendations to help him get better at the job of public speaking. That's what evaluation is.
All right, thank you so much. Now, let me just twist this question a bit. What is respect? Toastmaster Anoop.
Respect primarily, I mean, a regard or from the bottom of your heart, you feel you value somebody that, I mean, either you're inspired by their qualities, traits, virtue, or you have that inherent, okay, this person in some way, either he's carrying himself well or he has done something to you. So there's an emotion which is there, which is primarily, I mean, you value that relationship and you regard that person. So
That is correct. So this is what we have to do in an evaluation speech contest. We are there as evaluators to give a respect to someone who has delivered a speech for around 5 to 7 minutes. We are there to boost his confidence. We are there to boost their morale and everything. So respect is basically right evaluation of a person. Now, when we come to Toastmasters, how many of you are here for the first time who would be the first time contestants in the evaluation contest? Okay, I can see Toastmaster Prerna. Anybody else? So Toastmaster Anu, are you going to be the first timer contestant or have you ever been a contestant before?
I have attended once before this also.
All right, okay. So Toastmaster Prerna, what are your thoughts?
According to me, evaluation contest is something where we give the feedback, the generic feedback which we can give someone to improve themselves and to work upon. And it could be positive so that the listener, the speaker who's speaking and to whom we are evaluating could take it positively and work on it. So this is my take on this.
Okay, so can I ask a difference between what is the difference between a normal evaluation in a Toastmasters meeting and a evaluation in a contest? So what is the difference? What is primarily the difference between the two evaluation types? Anybody, feel free to answer. Okay, Prerna, you don't have any idea? All right. Anybody, any experienced member, any experienced Toastmaster? The major difference between a normal meeting and a evaluation speech contest as a contestant.
One basic difference is like as an evaluation contest, there is one standard speech and you all of you are supposed to evaluate the very same speech so that you get to see a diverse perspective and how other members have evaluated. Whereas in case of a regular Toastmaster meeting, it is one person who's evaluating. In case you have some views, you can primarily reach out to that person and directly share it with him. But it is
That is
not part
correct.
of a regular meeting.
That is correct. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Anu? Well, yes, in a normal meeting in Toastmasters, you are there to deliver an evaluation one-on-one. While in an evaluation speech contest, there would be one target speaker and all the contestants are supposed to evaluate that particular speech. So that is primarily the difference between an evaluation in a meeting and an evaluation in an evaluation contest. Now, the other rules are going to be same. It would be a 2 to 3 minutes of a speech. In an evaluation contest speech, that has to be a 2 to 3 minutes of a speech with 30 seconds of buffer time on the upper as well as the lower sides. So that makes it around 1 minute 30 seconds to 3 minutes 30 seconds. So that is the time frame you need to keep in mind. Now, when we talk about evaluation contest, we must always have heard about a lot about the CRC approach and everything. So can anybody discuss about the CRC approach? Maybe Toastmaster Prerna?
CRC approach is commendations, recommendations, and then commendations, where we first like encourage the speaker in which he or she has done much better and very good. So we raise the excellence over there. And then in the recommendation part, we just suggest them to improve where the areas of improvement are needed to be done. And then in commendations, again, we like wind up by telling that you were good and that is the CRC
Thank you.
approach.
Thank you so much. So basically, this is the CRC approach and popularly known as the sandwich technique in Toastmasters. So this is what we call it as a sandwich technique. It has to be a commendation wherein you come up on the stage, you boost somebody's morale, somebody's confidence, and then you come up with a smooth transition of delivering recommendations. And then at the end, it has to be commendations. Now, when I say in a normal meeting, a lot of times, we tend to follow this CRC approach. But in a contest, what we usually focus is the commendations, recommendation, and the summation. So that summation is the main highlight. In that summation, it's not necessary that you have to commend the speaker. Obviously, you have to commend the speaker, but at the same time, you need to recommend that speaker as well in a gist. In a gist that it has to be a proper conclusion. It has to be a closed loop. So you have to ensure an evaluation speech contest, you as an evaluator are judged on the basis of your evaluation. So make sure you remember this, that it is again a speech. It has to be in a speech format. It has to have an opening. It has to have a conclusion. So that concluding remarks should be really intact, you need to be mindful of everyone. The second most important thing when it comes to an evaluation speech contest, we talk about commendations, we talk about recommendations, we talk about the summation. Now, whenever we commend a speaker, whenever you commend a speaker, make sure you articulate facts. Whatever commendation you are giving, be it on the basis of the vocal variety, be it on the basis of a pause, be it on the basis of body language. Make sure you give a relevant fact to enhance a speech, just to ensure that your evaluation is not exactly figurative. It has to be factual. It has to be factual. It should look like that you are evaluating based on what you have heard today. It shouldn't be like that you already have a template designed in your mind and then you are coming up delivering the same evaluation. A lot of times you'll see there are evaluators who come up on stage. I have seen in my history, I have seen in my experience, a lot of Toastmasters, they usually come in a in an evaluation contest, and they have certain evaluations in mind pre-conditioned. They have certain evaluations, like they have to deliver an evaluation on pause, they have to deliver an evaluation on eye contact. Then the major irony is the speaker did maintain a good eye contact. Still, the member has mentioned a recommendation on the basis of an eye contact. So that is what you need to assure. You need to assure that it has to be factual. It has to be on the basis of what you have heard that particular day. So that is one thing you need to always keep in your mind. Now, when we talk about commendations, recommendations, and then the summation, we always try to forget that the basic agenda of an evaluation is to not just motivate the speaker, but to ensure that the speaker gives his best maybe next time. He should improve next time in his next coming delivering speeches. So what we actually miss out as an evaluation contestant, we focus more on commendations and then we neglect our recommendation. Remember, it has to be a 2 to 3 minutes of a speech. A 2 to 3 minutes of a speech, you need to balance it in a way that you need to have good recommendations. Because only commendations. I have shared the ballot. I have shared the evaluation contest ballot in the chat box as well. So if in case you want to go through it, you can. Commendations doesn't even have any score in an evaluation contest ballot. So if you are going to come up with only commendations in Toastmasters evaluation contest, you are not going to get any points in your ballot. That is one point. You are not going to get any points in your ballot when you have only commendations throughout your evaluation, because in that way, you are not helping the speaker to augment himself or herself in his next future speeches. So make sure, this is one strategy that I usually follow. Never ever wait for the green card or at max the yellow card to get displayed. Never ever wait for the green card or at max the yellow card to get displayed. You need to come up with at least 2 commendations, maybe 2-3 commendations, and then instantly you need to come up with your recommendations, because recommendations are something that has to have some value in a contest. But if you just probably start off with the recommendations, again, you will lose it, because in that way you are not giving a confidence to your speaker. You are not motivating your speaker enough. You are trying to be rude. So that sort of balance, that sort of harmony has to be maintained throughout in an evaluation contest. You need to come up with commendations. Your commendations should be specific to what you say, to what you have heard from the contest, from the contestant speech. Then you need to have a proper transition. It is very important in an evaluation contest to have a smooth transition. Smooth transition is very important. Suppose if you are coming up with a template, like your speech was like a 5-star speech, and now I am going to help you with few recommendations to make sure that your 5-star speech goes up to a 7-star speech. So that is how you have to transit. You need to have a very smooth transition when you come up as an evaluation contestant. Now, whenever you start with the recommendations, most important, make sure your first recommendation should be, the very first should be on the basis of your speech structure. It should be on the basis of speech structure. A lot of times I have seen people delivering evaluations based on the delivery, but the delivery should always come at the last. It should be first, your priority should be the structure, then your priority should be the content, the conclusion, and all these things. All these things matter because delivery is something anybody can speak. Anybody can tell you vocal variety, anybody can help you with the body language, anybody can assure you about the eye contact. But what makes you unique, what makes you different from others is how analytical you are. How critical you are when it comes to looking at the speech structure, when it comes to listening to the speech structure, the content of the speaker. So you need to ensure that you need to have that clarity, that recommendations in place when you are going as an evaluation speech contestant. Now, again, whenever you recommend a speaker, the same thing. Whenever you commend a speaker, you have to articulate facts. You have to articulate facts from what you have heard that particular day. The same way, the same goes with the recommendations. Whenever you are giving a recommendation to your speaker, it shouldn't be generalized. It shouldn't be generalized like you could have worked on your vocal variety, or maybe you could have worked on your concluding remarks. Your concluding remarks would have been like this, it could have been like that. You need to ensure this exact pointer, the exact line, the exact phrase that you need to highlight, because that is how you are going to help your speaker. That is how we usually help our mentees with. When our mentees are in front of us, delivering a speech in front of us, we always tend to give them a sort of advice that here you need to make that change. This is the place where you need to tweak a bit. So you need to be very analytical when it comes to an evaluation contest. Now, once you have that commendations and the recommendations in place, then it comes the summation. Summation should be what all things you have already spoken, what all things you have already delivered as a contestant. You again need to reiterate all of those things as a concluding remark. And now it comes to you. It's up to you, because a lot of times I have seen evaluation contestants following the commendation, recommendation, submission portion that a lot of contestants does. A lot of times I have seen evaluation contestants doing commendation, recommendation, commendation, recommendation, commendation, recommendation, that format also. We have seen, because everything in Toastmasters is in the form of a proposal. It is in the form of a proposal. Whatever I am delivering it to you today, it is everything. It's in the form of a proposal. It is you who have to implement those things. You have to implement it in your own way. So you are the one who have to decide that how you are going to take what helps you, what would help your speaker understand, what would help you connect with your test speaker, and what would help you connect with the entire audience. Because whenever you are in a normal Toastmasters setup, you are delivering an evaluation, you are helping your speaker. In an evaluation contestant, you are helping your test speaker, of course, but at the same time, you need to be mindful of the fact that you are also getting judged. You are getting judged on the basis of what you are going to deliver it today. So in an evaluation contest, you again need to be mindful of this fact that you are going to get judged, and it is the voting judges, it is the judges who are going to perceive you. So that contest, that evaluation contest should not be like too specific. It shouldn't be like too generic. You need to keep a harmony. You need to maintain that particular balance when it comes to the commendations, recommendations, and the summation format. Any questions till now?
At Toastmasters style, just one query. Usually
Yeah.
the speakers, target speakers, which are chosen for these kind of speech evaluations are pretty, they're on the spot. So scope of recommendations is always very, very limited. And of course, you don't want to force fit something which is not there. So how to come across on that particular point? Because at least one contest which I saw, speaker was just brilliant. I mean, so either you had to just figure out something and you had to make it. Most of the time, people, what I could observe during that contest, it was just people are trying to make it up. And
Right.
when it comes to recommendation, so how to deal with that? In case you have
Okay, nice question. So Anup, in that case, what happens is in every evaluation contest, you will see a target speaker, a test speaker whose speech would be like up to the mark.
Correct.
His speech would be like up to the mark, and that is where your analytical skills come into picture. That is how we are going to judge. Because if a test speaker is himself or herself making a lot of fumble, making a lot of pauses, making a lot of not ensuring a good eye contact, we would definitely be able to come up with so many recommendations. But then if a contestant is like up to the mark, that is where our entire analytical skills come into play. In that case, that is what I mentioned. In a normal meeting, you focus more on delivery. You focus more on the speech structure. You focus primarily on the delivery style. In an evaluation contest, ensure that you focus more on the content. Because once you will start focusing on content, you would be able to come up with a recommendation. And I'm pretty confident you would even be able to come up with the recommendation even while you'll see a world champion of public speaking delivering a speech in front of you. You can even come up with a recommendation. Because it's a recommendation, it's always in the form of a proposal. What you feel could have been better. Your evaluation should be in a way what you feel could have been better in your speech. It shouldn't be like not everybody's else's opinion. It is what you feel you could have done this. It would have augmented your speech to another level. So your content, your recommendation should primarily focus more on the content rather the delivery. Because from the delivery perspective, a test speaker would most probably 90% chances would be like up to the mark. I have even seen a contest. That year I was the area director. I'll tell you my experience. That year I was there witnessing a contest, and it was the district level. So it was the district level contest. And in district levels, we usually see a test speaker speech like almost 100% kind of a speech wherein you cannot even come up with a recommendation. So that is what the beauty of a district contest is. The test speaker came up on the stage, and then he literally revealed his speech was on evaluation only. Now, the most important thing was his speech was on evaluation, and he blabbered everything about evaluation contest. He blabbered everything about the evaluation contest in his speech. He mentioned about that now the contestant is going to come up with a saying that I need to focus on this delivery. I need to focus on recommendations. I need to focus on good stage presence. So he mentioned all the aspects, all the parameters of the evaluation contest, and the participants got confused. The participants got confused that the test speaker himself has mentioned all the parameters and in a very negative way. He confused all the participants over there that no participant can even think of deliver evaluation on the basis of his delivery, because he has already delivered it like, I am making use of a virtual background. Now a contestant is going to come up saying that make sure you have a clean background. Then he told a reason. How can I make use of a clean background? Because I already have my wife, I already have my dogs playing around. So his speech was like a very different speech that confused all the participants over there. So be aware, expect the unexpected in a Toastmasters contest. A lot of times I have seen members so well prepared, they come up with a feeling that I need to deliver evaluation on the basis of content because the test speaker would be like a wow. But then I have seen test speaker giving innumerable pauses, innumerable fillers that eventually confuses the participant again. If you are in a district contest and you see a test speaker delivering a speech with so many R's, so many arms, it will again gives you a, oh, I have prepared something else. I have some other preconditions in my mind, and then it has reversed. So expect the unexpected. That is what I said. You need to focus on that D-Day. You need to focus on that speech delivery, how that day the speakers deliver the speech. Don't assume anything. Just make sure that whenever, if it's a wow kind of a speech, you need to ensure your recommendations on the basis of content. You need to ensure your basis on the basis of structure. If it's like a speech where you believe that there are so many delivery standpoints or delivery misouts, in that way, you need to focus, you need to prioritize delivery in that case. Because if then you will focus more on content, the others might have an edge. The others might have an edge in a way because they would be delivering it on the basis of their delivery. And the voting judges will also see that the test speaker has made innumerable fillers, but you as a contestant, you were good, you were analytical, but you did not even bother to speak anything about his delivery. So be very mindful. Be very mindful of this very fact. I hope I did answer your question.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, Akshat.
Yeah,
Yes, Toastmaster Akshat.
yes. Continuing with Anoop's question, let's imagine a worst case scenario in which you're so much or you're completely in awe of the speaker simply because his content is exceptional. Let's imagine for a moment that Mr. Shashi Tharoor is speaking, and you don't find yourself, in the same league as him. Now, in that case, assume that somehow you struggle to find out a recommendation, right? But mostly you have commendations because you were completely, mesmerized by the speech. So in that case, just structuring your commendations really well, does that work in your favor, or do you always need to have a lot of or rather you need to balance out your recommendations?
Good question. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshat. In an evaluation contest, of course, you need to balance out your recommendations because giving only commendations would not fetch you points in the judges' ballot. I think, did you see the judges' ballot I have shared in the chat box? Okay, because we have, if you could just see, we have around 30 points for the recommendations only. We have around 30 points for the recommendations, yes. So it is important to have a recommendation. Now, giving to your situation, if you see a Shashi Tharoor delivering a speech. Now, we all know Shashi Tharoor makes a lot of enriched vocabulary. He makes use of an enriched vocabulary. He has a lot of hypophora. He has a lot of rhetorical devices when he delivers a speech. That might be confusing for a lot of people. So you can come up with a recommendation saying you could have had something more realistic, more in terms of layman language that could have helped you connect with the audience. So a recommendation should always be from a fact that what you perceive, what you think. If you would have been there in his place, how you would have implemented the same kind of a speech to ensure a good audience connect. Because we again need to be mindful of this fact in a Toastmasters meeting. In Toastmasters, we have members, we have audience for around 18 plus. We have audience for around 18 plus to around 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. We have around for all ages. We have Gen Zs, we have millennials, we have all the ages coming together, different professions coming together. So you need to be very mindful of the fact. A lot of times I have seen a speaker brilliantly delivering a speech. A speaker I have seen in one of the contests, a test speaker was like, he was like awestruck. Everybody was like awestruck. But his speech was primarily on the basis of one sport. His speech was primarily on the basis of one sport. He mentioned about football. He mentioned about football and then the takes from football. It was a very good speech, a very well structured speech. But then those who are keen into football, those who could relate with football, they'll probably find it very good. But the ones who could not, who are not even aware, how is this sport, they might not be able to relate with the speaker's speech. So the speaker's speech should always be relatable as well. I have seen it a lot of times. People coming up, delivering speeches, they are like brilliantly sorted speakers, delivering speeches on the basis of maybe this football, a different sport. It's just an example. So in that case, your speech recommendation should be more of a general perspective. That if it would have been a generalized kind of a speech, that would have certainly helped the audience of every age group, of every gender, of every profession. So that is how your recommendation should be. Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, just one more follow-up question. Like in some of the feedback that I received for evaluation, many a times people say that don't attack the content of the speaker. Like if you're not too happy with the plot, ultimately it's the creativity of the speaker. So probably you should not be giving feedback too much on the content. So what is your take on that?
Of course. You need to again balance your recommendations in a way. If you probably like what I mentioned earlier to Anoop's question. So Anoop came up with a question that what if the speaker's speech is like wow and it is hard to come up with recommendations. It is hard to come up with recommendations. I mentioned that if you, in that case, if you come up with recommendations on the basis of the content, then it might help the audience. It might help the audience and you might be able to come up with a recommendation for that matter. Because as a contestant, your motive, your hidden agenda should be you are also a contestant. Your agenda should always be like you are a contestant in today's contest. You are an evaluator for sure, but at the same time you are a contestant and you are getting judged by around 8 to 10 judges. So that is one thing you need to be mindful of. Then coming to your question, I'm so sorry, could you please repeat your question once more?
So basically, should you be giving feedback on the actual content? That's the only thing. Like,
Right. Okay. In that case, you need to again figure it out. You need to figure it out through your test speaker's facial expressions, how confident he was while he was delivering his speech. And then if I talk about the content, it's not about the entire content. If I discuss about the content, it's more often related to maybe the opening stanzas, maybe the concluding remarks. You can come up with concluding remarks. You could have, because concluding remarks could have been like what you perceive, what you thought. It should be something, it should be didactic, it should convey a message, throughout. And you feel that it was not giving that insightful take after delivering 5 to 7 minutes of a speech. You can come up with that. I have seen evaluators coming up with a very good evaluation. I'll tell you, it was on the basis of timing. Now, how was it? The test speaker's speech was like again up to the mark, 100% delivery, all pointers over there. But then she was like really good, and it has to be a 5 to 7 minutes of a speech. At around 6 minutes, she started off with her concluding remarks. Around 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 30 seconds, around 7 minutes. And then her concluding remarks were like not too enlarged. She should have opted for more time. She should have devoted more time towards her concluding remarks. So the contestant evaluation was on the basis of timing. She mentioned that everything was good, but your conclusion came right at the end of the red card. If you could have enhanced your speech, if you could have structured your speech in a way that we could have had more time to absorb the core sense of your message. So that is how your evaluation should be. It shouldn't be like you are awestruck by the by the way your speaker is delivering a speech that day. At the same time, you need to be mindful of all the parameters throughout. You need to be mindful of all the parameters. It should, because no speech is perfect. Every speech has to have some flows and flaws. So you need to figure it out how you need to tackle those flaws in your recommendation, how you need to bring it up in your evaluation. So that is how it should be. It shouldn't be necessarily on the basis of content. So her evaluation, what I mentioned just now, was not necessarily on the basis of the content, but it was somehow related to the content. So I hope I did answer to your question. Did I? Thank you. Anybody else? Toastmaster Anup, yes.
Susail, there's a lot of clarity which you have been able to provide in terms of concepts per se, right? And certainly it has clarified a couple of doubts which I had by focusing more on content per se. Today, if time permits, can we evaluate one contest? Like, for example, even if I had to just take a reference in Toastmaster itself, let's go back 2015, that power of words, what he presented in word contest, right? It is probably one of those speeches where you are asked, right? So if we had to evaluate that, I mean, what kind of recommendation we can come up with? So in case there's some time, in case we have some time today, can we do it collectively? That would help if you're okay with that.
Certainly, we can do that. But I feel, as per the agenda for today's meeting, Toastmaster Dev, please correct me if I'm wrong. We already have a test speaker. We already have a test speaker, and it has to be in the form of a mock evaluation contest. So,
Yes, sir.
Toastmaster Anup, would that work?
Right. Absolutely. So that is one agenda.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So with this, I believe I am good and I can hand over the stage back to our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Dev, to peacefully conduct a mock evaluation contest. Toastmaster Dev, the stage is all yours. Please take it away.
Thank you so much. Then we give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Sahil, as he have given her so many points to compete in a contest and become a champion, just like he is in many of the contests. So with moving on with today's meeting agenda, today we are going to have a test speaker who is going to be Toastmaster Prerna. And after her speech, there will be 3 minutes of silence for the evaluators to get their notes ready. And then we'll move with the evaluations. After that, Toastmaster Sahil will come on the stage and give each evaluator their evaluation. So that's the agenda for today. And I will be the timer as well. So Toastmaster Prerna, I will be your timer for today. I will spotlight myself as well, so you don't have to worry about it. And now, before calling Toastmaster Prerna on stage, I would like to introduce herself. She is a third-year student pursuing Bachelor's of Technology from United Institute of Technology, Prayagraj. She is a jolly and fun-loving girl who is fond of acting in room when she is free, and if not acting, then surely dancing. Other than this, she is the Vice President Education of UGI Toastmaster Club, also the Area Club Growth Director for Area F1. Talking about achievements, he was winner for declamation in AKTU Intercollege Zonals, also Triple Crown winner, also several prizes in acting. And as I personally know her, she is someone that who I call the straightforward girl that I have met. And now, Toastmaster Prerna, let's go with an audio video check so we can confirm that you are clearly audible and visible. Can you please repeat after me? Today is a beautiful day to have a mock speech evaluation course.
Today is a beautiful day to have the mock speech evaluation contest.
Thank you so much. You are clearly audible and visible. Also, can I request Toastmaster Akshat is already on camera, Toastmaster Tanmay and Toastmaster Anup and everyone present here to come on the camera so that the speaker can interact with you and you can give the evaluation clearly as well. Okay, we will take instant coffee for now.
instant वाली coffee Sorry.
All set, Toastmaster Prerna?
Yes.
Okay. Toastmaster Prerna, the shortest version of mine. The shortest version of mine, Toastmaster Prerna. The stage is all yours.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Visiting relatives after a long time is always an adventure, isn't it? Yes, it is. Some people get asked about studies, some get asked about marriage. But me, the moment I entered, the first thing they noticed is not my marks, not my future, but my height. One auntie looked at me and said, "Go, Prerna, you grow up." And I was like, yeah. Without wasting a second, my uncle replied, "Maybe by age, but not by height." And relatives. I tell you, they treat me like mobile phone. The model keeps updating, but the size remains same. I have a 6 foot tall uncle. The moment he saw me, he just picked me up in his arms, just like Simba from the Lion King, and he said, "You should have drunk more Complan." At this moment, if I'm going to drink cement, only my height is going to be increased, not my weight. Yes, sorry, only my weight will increase, not my height. Sorry. I have been called Choti, Piddi, Utki. Sometimes I feel like they're not calling me. They're auditioning me for the Pokemon's series. Seriously, relatives. They don't have classy names like Prince or Princess. They have Golu, Molu, Chotu, Pinku. Just free insults wrapped with gifts and love. Yes. My aunt once asked me, "In which class you are?" Maybe in 11th. And seriously, I was like, "Sorry, but I'm in the pre-final year of my graduation." Although I don't look like that, but it is true. At that moment, I felt like I should have shown her my Aadhaar card, voter card, also my birth certificate that yes, I have actually grown up. But no problem. It happens. It's life and it's relatives. And people when call me tinny, short, or whatever, I just feel like I'm cute enough to hide my age. Because tall people are busy and proving that they are mature, and me always chilling and making fun of myself in front of others. Basically, me doing cardio for free while jumping, crawling, and sometimes climbing the trees because it makes me in trouble. But moreover that, I feel very nice when I trouble others because I'm the chota packet bada dhamaka. Yes. Once in a winter, I wore a pink color furry jacket in which I looked like a penguin. And someone called me, "Hey, penguin." I was shocked that why is he calling me penguin? But as penguins are cute, stylish, and overdressed, so it is the animal form of mine. No worries, you can call me penguin. And then there's my Dawn side. Actually, people call me Chota Dawn. Not because I fight a lot, but before fighting, I don't see the height of the people. I just completely forget if he or she will beat me. I'll just fell down like a Jenga block. Then it will not be the Chota Dawn. It will be Chota gone. Of course, being short has its perks too. Whenever someone gives me money, they say, "Beta, buy some chocolates for yourself." Do tall people get free chocolates? No, 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 no. They only get free responsibility. I never bang my head on doors. I never bang my head on doors. The people dug and begged. I just walk in reality. In group selfies, I'm in front. And the teacher in the class never calls me for the front row because I am already seated there. Yes. So, do the height matter? No. Because even everyone, whether it's my junior or senior, they get confused. Am I really in pre final year? Once I was practicing skit with my juniors, one of the junior came and said, "Give me 20 rupees so that I can do this." And I was like, "Is this the way to talk to your senior?" And he was like, "Wait, you are actually a senior?" And I was like, "Yes, I don't look like that, but I am." You know, that's magic. It is magic being fun sized. It is 4.8 or 4.9, the cutest height. People say height defines personality. But honestly, I believe height does not define you. Your heart does. And if you don't believe me still, let me give you the ultimate proof. We all are in the Zoom meeting. So, we all are having the same height. Nobody can be called shorter or nobody can be called taller. So, my speech ends here, but I'm cute. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we all give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Prerna's speech, or should I call Toastmaster Penguin? Thank you so much. And with that, first of all, I will announce that our test speaker time taken for the speech is 6 minutes 35 seconds. I repeat, it was 6 minutes 35 seconds. And now I will start. All the evaluators present here and all the guest presenter, you have time of 3 minutes to prepare your evaluations. And the timing starts now. With 3 minutes are over. Toastmaster accept. 3 minutes are over. You can pen down. Thank you. So I request Toastmaster Anup, Toastmaster Amit to come on the stage. Also, any of the guest Toastmasters would like to, if they want to take the part in this mock evaluation speech contest, they can give their names to me so that I can draw up the slots. Okay, so Toastmaster Vikram, Toastmaster Pallavi, or Toastmaster Seema who would like to take, or we also have distinguished Toastmaster Noor in the meeting as well. Please confirm if you want to be the contestant as well. Hearing none, we will go ahead with our 3 contestants that are present here. And the first is Toastmaster Akshat, second Toastmaster Anup, and third Toastmaster Tanmay. So this is going to be the sequence, and Toastmaster Anup left the meeting. We'll wait till then. Toastmaster Akshat, you are going to be the first contestant who will come on the stage and evaluate Toastmaster Prerna's speech. The time allotted is again 2 to 3 minutes. I will show the green card at 2 minutes and the yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds and the red card at 3 minutes. You have 30 seconds of grace on both the sides. With that, I also want to confirm, Toastmaster Sahil, are you ready? Can we begin with the mock evaluation speech contest?
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much. Okay, so
Just
I
a
would like
quick
to,
check. Wouldn't be
yes,
there any breakout rooms?
as it is a mock speech contest, I was thinking that it was not needed, but if you
Okay.
suggest, we can.
No problem. What you take the call. It's absolutely fine.
Toastmaster
Yes.
Sahil, I mean, as Toastmaster Dave said, I mean, if you want, we can move the other contestant to a breakout room. But since it was a mock contest only, so we were okay. Like it's about
Yeah,
just learning
it
from each
makes
other ultimately,
sense. Yeah, it makes
right?
sense. We can learn from each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then going ahead, contestant number 1 is going to be Toastmaster Akshat. So let's go ahead with an audio video check. Toastmaster Akshat, can you please repeat after me? Today is a beautiful day to have a evaluation speech contest.
Today is a beautiful day to have an evaluation speech contest.
Wonderful, you are clearly audible and visible. Can you confirm if you can see the timer cards on the screen?
Yes, I can.
Please repeat the color.
It's green,
Now,
yellow, red.
thank you so much. You are clearly audible and visible and you can see the timer cards. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Akshat Pandey. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Akshat Pandey. The stage is all yours.
Good evening, seasoned Toastmasters. What an amazing speech by Toastmaster Prerna. And why I say amazing is because, I have this habit of forgetting what I'm here for. And the moment this evaluation contest started, I again got into that frame of mind that I have to evaluate a general speech. But then as Toastmasters Prerna's speech progresses, and a joke comes up when she says that she, as a Chota Don, would go on to become Chota Gon. That's when, my funny bone gets tickled and I realize, oh my God, this is such a nice and excellent humorous speech. And this is just one example of the various anecdotes that Toastmaster Prerna talks about all throughout her speech. And her content is so relatable that it takes us, in fact, it would have taken each one of us to those grilling sessions when we go on a trip to a relative's place. And the only questions that they have in mind is about our looks, Today, we use a stronger word like body shaming, but I would give them a benefit of doubt. And I would say that basically they try to joke on your appearance, and many a times you have no option but to feel sad about it. But over a period of time, you realize and you start accepting it. So great work on that front, Toastmaster Prerna. Your speech is a set of hilarious anecdotes. Going to the areas of improvement, I feel that there is a good structure to your speech. Starts off with a very pertinent questions about how we feel about going to relatives, and then follow a list of or a set of anecdotes, each humorous in its own way. Somewhere I feel that your speech is a set of anecdotes, and it could actually be intertwined to make it even more argumentative. So there is an argument that you are trying to raise, and somewhere I feel that it could become a little stronger if you try to bring in a contrast in your message, and how those experiences actually end up making you the person that you are. So when you talk about you being referred to as Chota Don, or when you are being referred to as a Golu or a Molu, somewhere you just need to also express about how that has actually shaped you and also show that contrast. So probably you can work on that structure. Overall, I feel that your speech has a lot of interesting humorous elements. Starts off with a great structure, pertinent questions. Towards the end, if you could just summarize it a little better and bring that summary a little forward in your speech, this would make for a great and interesting speech. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Dev.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshat. Can we all give a huge round of applause for our contestant number one, Toastmaster Akshat Pandya? With that, now let's move on to our second contestant, who is going to be Toastmaster Anup. So, going ahead with a quick audio video check, Toastmaster Anup, can you please repeat after me? Today is a beautiful day to have a speech contest.
Possibly today is a beautiful day to have a speech contest evaluation. So I can hear it loud and clear.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anup. You are clearly audible. Can you please confirm if you can see the timer cards changing?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you, Bhai.
Can you please confirm the color you see on the screen?
Green, yellow, red.
Thank you so much. With that, contestant number two, Toastmaster Anup. Toastmaster Anup, contestant number two.
So Toastmaster Prerna, just to start with, I really enjoyed your speech, and you chose a very personal and relatable topic, and you could do justice with it. More importantly, I mean, you used humor and honesty just to balance a very sensitive theme. Otherwise, it would have been, I mean, it can go either ways, but the way you chose humor and honesty, it helped. It helped in a very, very positive way, and all of us could relate with each statement what you made here. Apart from choosing the theme and being relatable, couple of areas in terms of speech, what stood out, I think your hand gestures were to the point, right? They could emphasize, they could emphasize more on the areas where you wanted to get audience attention, and I surely think it was not at any point. I never felt that there's some kind of overdo or some kind of it is not going with the speech. It was to the spot, and it helped to reinforce the point what you're trying to make. So very good uses of your hand gestures on that front, right? Apart from that, I think vocal variety, the kind of confidence, the what you displayed throughout the speech, that was also brilliant. If if I had to see it from a lens that This could have been a speech where how to manage obstacles or disturbances which come during the speech. I think you also handled that like a pro, right? So whether it is in start of speech or there were a couple of background noises, but you are not taken away by that. So you handled that pretty well. Now coming to a couple of recommendations that I felt where which can further make your speech from good to great. So one area what I feel where you can work upon is first, I mean, what you handled like a pro can also go wrong in certain cases, right? So if you can just manage your background, I mean, where you're sitting and when you're delivering your speech, if you can clear those obstacles and if you can be at a quite uncomfortable place, it can always add more value. And people, you'll get full attention of entire audience. So that is one area where I feel you can slightly work on. Apart from this background disturbance, I think other area where you can focus is more on your just allow me a minute. Yeah, in terms of conclusion, right? You could have come up with a sharper conclusion and closer of your speech. There was a very good theme, and all of us were able to relate. But I think there was a very good start. There was a in terms of speech body, you had a lot of relatable content, and you could engage entire audience well on that front. A sharper closer will always help with the message at end of this. Right? So that could also be there. One more area, I mean, although it is very short duration, but evaluate if you can get some audience interaction done at least some point in time, right? So these are a couple of recommendations which I had, but all in all, it was a brilliant speech and I thoroughly enjoyed it, where you used humor to balance everything. All the best, friend.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anu. Can we all give a huge round of applause for our contestant number 2, Toastmaster Anu? With that, moving on to our last contestant for today, Toastmaster Tanmay. Can we have you on stage, Toastmaster Tanmay? Toastmaster Tanmay? Toastmaster Tanmay, are you there? Call for Toastmaster Tanmay. Hearing none, we will go ahead as we are already running out of time. So, Toastmaster Sahil, now the stage is yours to evaluate the evaluators and give them some tips so they can refine their evaluation. Can we have you on stage, Toastmaster Sahil?
Sure. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dave. Well, it was indeed an amazing speech, an insightful speech delivered by Toastmaster Prerna today. But now, as a part of my job, I need to evaluate my evaluators, starting off with Toastmaster Akshat. Now, Toastmaster Akshat, a great start of your speech. You have had a lot of commendations and then a couple of recommendations as well, then coming up with a submission. You had a good structure of your entire evaluation contest if you are taking part as a contestant. Just one thing I need to ensure, as I mentioned previously, whenever you are there as an evaluation contestant, you need to forget all certain preconditionings. You need to forget all certain preconditionings. In today's speech, if you just probably listen to what the speaker delivered today, there were a lot of there were a lot of flaws when it comes to delivery. There were a lot of flaws when it comes to the speech area, the structure, and all those things. So the speech area, somebody was continuously disturbing her. If you could have just mentioned that piece of a bit, that would have been a very strong recommendation. That would have been a very strong recommendation, because again, this is one recommendation that all the voting judges, or probably all the entire audience panel, might have heard, might have seen. So that is one tip I would like to ensure. That should be, in fact, the number one. Then you could have come up with the structure, like you mentioned about the structure, that she started off with questions, then she started off with a lot of anecdotes. Now, when you mention about a lot of anecdotes in that particular sentence, you could have rephrased your recommendation in a way. When you see a lot of anecdotes in somebody's speech, it probably used to confuse. It used to confuse the audience's attention. It used to confuse the voting judge's attention, or you as an audience. Because a lot of anecdotes, probably they usually confuse what the speaker is trying to convey. So try to limit yourself to certain 3 to 4 anecdotes and then build a speech. So that is what I was expecting from your side. That was some rephrasing, some rephrases you could have managed. Then you again had a recommendation on based on how your experiences end up making a person who you are today. So that was a really good based on the content. But then again, you again started off, you again pinched off the structure. So when you are talking about the structure, ensure that you complete that portion in that particular recommendation and then move on to the next one. So in that way, you can ensure clarity. If you see the ballot, it is the very first thing says the analytical quality. So the analytical skills are basically clarity. So you need to be clear throughout your evaluation. So this is one thing I just need to ensure that you need to work upon before you go on to the actual evaluation contest. Now, moving on to our next evaluation contestant for today, Toastmaster Anoop. Now, Toastmaster Anoop, again, you did have a great start. You have had a great commendation, then recommendations, and then the submission. So it was a great evaluation sandwich kind of an approach. You had a good transition from good to great when you were trying to transit for the recommendations for Toastmaster Prerna. You have had a good transition. But again, Toastmaster Anoop, you focused on the D-Day speech. That was good. You focused on the D-Day speech. You mentioned about there were quite a few noises coming up here and there. You could have managed a good stage area, a proper atmosphere, and that would have helped you deliver your speech in a better way. But then what you actually missed out is you should also prioritize something about the content. You mentioned about the humorous anecdotes, there were humors, there were honesty throughout a speech. But again, if if you could just come up with the content, about the content, that this should be in that way. There were so many anecdotes. If you could just have limited those anecdotes to about 2 or 3 and enhanced those anecdotes in a way, in a proper structure, that would have eventually helped you as an evaluator, to look even more sound. So that is one recommendation from my side. Other than that, it was really good listening to you today. When you give your summation, now for everyone, whenever you give your summation is again to motivate the audience, because it's the final chance for you to motivate your audience, to motivate your test speaker. So make sure you don't miss that chance. You need to be very thorough, very particular with your last attempt. Your final attempt shouldn't be come up when you see the red card, because both of you, the moment you notice the red card displayed, you were like all awestruck and you need to just complete off the evaluation. So this shouldn't be there. You need to manage your time in a way that suppose yellow card is there, you have that time clarity in your mind. You need to have that time clarity in your mind that this much of time I need to devote now for my conclusion. A lot of times I have seen good evaluators, even I have seen it with me as well. We often deliver evaluations and then we are in haste, we are all in haste that we give good commendations, we deliver recommendations, and then we eventually see the red card getting displayed and we are all like, all of the sudden, go, 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 go. Otherwise, we are going to get disqualified. So make sure that that final chance, that you need to be really very calm. You need to maintain that posture. You need to complete that evaluation contest in such a way that it has to be like closing the entire loop of your speech. So that is all from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster Dave.
So much, Sahil. Can we all give a huge round of applause to him again for evaluating the evaluators and giving them tips that help them in achieving the champion title from the club, area, division, and as well as district. In concluding, I would also like to mention the time taken by Toastmaster Akshat was 3 minutes 32 seconds. So you were over the time. So kindly note that. And for Toastmaster Anup, you took 3 minutes and 23 seconds. With that, I, as a host, sign off today, and I would like to hand over the stage back to our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dave, and thank you so much to all the people who took out time to be a part of this meeting. It's been, obviously a special mention to Toastmaster Sahil for taking up this initiative and sharing his valuable feedbacks and insights. And my bad that we were expecting at least five. I had five nominations for the participants, but Archita and Tanmay had to drop out of the meeting at the last moment. I don't know. I mean, I'm still trying to get in touch with them. But again, so it's been I would say a tough meeting honestly, and I take onus for that for the lack of participants. But as I said, it's been that kind of meeting, one of those meetings that happen uh, with an online club that multiple members are not present. And I being one of them, I'm traveling today, so we haven't been actively involved. So as the president, I take the responsibility for the same. And again, again, thanks to Sahil that he knew that this meeting is more often, and then prompt to set up, and he still took the initiative to be the face of this meeting. And whatever insights he has shared, I'm sure that whoever is present here in this meeting, oh, sorry, I was off camera. Okay, so I'm sure that whatever initiative there, whatever insights that he has shared, will be of benefit to all those who are present in this meeting. And thank you, Toastmaster Akshat and Toastmaster Anoop, because it's as we call it a mock contest. The very purpose is to have participants on behalf of because of whom the other members will get to know the real feedbacks. If there are no participants, then there is going to be no feedback as such. So thank you so much. You were only two participants, and you participated. You gave us you did justice to this platform, to this meeting, basically providing Sahil a base to form his feedbacks, to form his workshop on. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshat and Toastmaster Anoop. Again, thank you, Toastmaster Dev, for taking up this MC role and helping us conduct this meeting. With that, I mean, obviously, we can conclude this meeting for today. And I am not someone who shy away from taking accountability and responsibility for things that don't go well. So once again, to all the members of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow and to all the people who are present in this meeting, TMCL has in last few meetings have last of couple of months also we have had. I think the EC has been successful in taking the level of meetings up which I have received as a feedback from many people out from outside the club as well. But I think this meeting is honestly, as I said, I was expecting a few more participants, but as I said, it's about taking accountability. It's about looking into what went wrong, and I will definitely look into it. And we will be having our next meeting next Sunday, and it will again be one of the finest meetings of Toastmasters Club of Lucknow. We will ensure that as a members of the club and as a EC. Thank you so much, all the participants, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming contest season. And with that, I think we can bid adieu for now. Thank you to all the role players and participants once again. Thank you so much.
Just
Toastmasters, can we please stop the